But hello there and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're well and having a beautiful day, doing whatever makes you happy in your happy space. And I hope that's quilting. Today's video is sponsored by Moonbin, and I'm going to tell you how I use Moonbin's printer to make this beautiful fall Halloween project that I know you're going to fall in love with. It's so easy, so simplistic. All right, so let's get started into the video. But before I do that, like and subscribe for more, share the video out. And if you'd like to become a channel member, all you need to do is click the link in the description box that says become a channel member, and as simple as that, and you'll get all the perks, how to become a channel member and all the perks that you will need to get for being a channel member from Crafty Quilting Designs. So let's dive straight into the video because I know you're excited to make this project. Let's go check out the printer from Moonbin. Alright, so once you get your package, this is what you're going to get. You're going to get your 70 GCM paper as well as your box with your printers. You got different variety of colors to choose from. Let's open it all up and see what's in there. Okay, now this is my second printer from Moonbin, and I must admit this is a beautiful printer to work with. So you'll get your details about Bluetooth connection and how it actually works with the printer. You get your portable manual, you get a card reader, which is very beautiful, so USB, so you can save all of your paper, documents, etc. You get your cording for charging, and you also get, all of that is in there. Brilliant, isn't it? You also get an adapter if you're working with a Mac, which is brilliant. All right, so you get PC connections and Mac connections. But let's look at the printer. Right, it's quite weighty, to be honest, and it's white, they've sent me, which is really good. It sits nice and sturdy on my table, and I think it's really nice. It says Moonbin on the corner over there. Alright, so now that we've unboxed it, let's actually look at how the printer actually works. Alright, so let's go through. So as I stated earlier, it comes in different colors. However, it gives you some signals here on your information here on your box. So it's stable, durable printing, which means it's nice and it sits firmly on your table. Clear resolution, which is excellent. And it's economical, meaning you don't have to buy any ink or toner for your printer because you're saving money when you buy a Moonbin portable printer. You would need those extras, okay? The printer also comes loaded already to start printing immediately. On the sides here, you got two switches where you can hold to actually open the printer, and you just pull the switch towards you, it slides across towards you, and you can see that it's open and already loaded with paper, which is excellent. So in essence, you're getting two lots of paper. It's not even used. As you can see, the paper is actually being stuck down, meaning it hasn't been used. So it's a fresh roll of paper you've got in there as well. Okay, close it back. Make sure you hear that clicking sound that it's actually closed. You have a perforated area here, and you can feel it as I run my finger along. This is where the paper would actually be torn off when you print. You have your on-off switch here as well, and you have your charging device hole there for you to put it in, which you know already that it comes with your charging cord. All right. Now you can use your phone with your printer, which I am going to demonstrate using my phone today. Alright, so I'm going to show you how to print now. So I'm going to open up my app. Okay, and had to use my face. Alright, so once you've opened up, your app is there. So let me just close. So that's my app there. It says Sharp Fox. I'm going to click as usual. As I said before, you're going to download the app, following the instructions, which is very self-explanatory. All right, I'm going to go to document print, which gives me all the details right there. So it's already highlighted my first template that I want to print for you, which is the Scrappy Pumpkin template, and I'm going to highlight it. And look at that, you can actually see it's already brought it up. So all I need to do now, I can scan it just to make sure I have 2 pages. There's a little printer in the corner up there. I just need to press print, and it's doing what it needs to do. It's giving me the document already. Okay, and I'm just going to print now. So it's asking me, do I need, what sort of paper I have? And of course, you already know that you have an A4 sheet paper. So I'm going to go into normal, and I'm going to press what I need. So I'm going to go, it's a roll paper. All the details are there for you. And I'm just simply going to press print. It says print now, and I press yes. And let's look at the printer, and I can see that it's already coming out. So let it do what it needs to do. You can actually see it working on the phone at the same time as well. You can see it's printing out, and it's coming out on the printer there. So you have beautiful. Now the great thing about this is that now it stops. It's printed page 1. So it's asking me now, do I want to print page 2? And I'm going to go ahead and says print page. And you can hear it continuing to print page 2. Now you can tear off the first page, or you can leave it. I usually, when I'm using this printer, I would just let it go and print the whole thing in one and do one tear. All right. So I'm going to let that do what it needs to do, and it's really coming out. What I love about this printer, look how lightweight it is. You know, no ink or anything like that. It's just so fantastic. Such a simplistic device to work with. Okay, so now that it's done, all I need to do now is just tear the page out. It comes off nice and smooth and easily. So easy. All right, so that's the first one printed. So the next item that we need to print now is the actual free motion quilting. Now, why I wanted to show this to you is because with free motion quilting, a lot of you always get worries about how you're going to do free motion quilting. Well, the easiest thing, I'm going to demonstrate it to you rather than tell you. So I'm going to import my file because it's telling me it hasn't downloaded this yet. I'm going to go to local. Why local? Because local is where it is stored, isn't it? So let's do that again. So I'm going to print now the free motion quilting template. Okay, so as you can see here, it's just giving me the option for the scrappy printer, the scrappy template, which we just printed. Now I'm going to go down. It says here to import. So I'm going to import the file, and I'm going to go to local. Why local? Because obviously local means it's on your phone, isn't it? So the next thing I'm going to do, I've already downloaded the template. I'm going to press it. It says confirm. So I've confirmed it. And there it is. It's brought it up for me. See how easy that is? Okay, so what I'm going to do now is press it as usual. And there it is. There's your free motion template. So I'm going to print one out, and I'm going to demonstrate to you how you can use this. So easy, guys. So easy. So the same again applies. Going to go to the little printer in the corner. Okay. And again, follow the instructions. It says print. I'm going to do that. Print now. And it's printing. It actually tells you what is actually printing, 1 to 6. And look at that. It prints so nice and clear. So beautiful. This printer is amazing. If you haven't bought one yet, I am telling you, go get one right now, because it's going to help you so easily. So easily. The only thing it doesn't do is print in color. But we're not here for the color, are we? We are here because we want to use this as a template. You can print your patterns out, and you can print your free motion templates out. You can print anything that you want to trace. So again, it's stop because it's asking me, do I want to print page 2, 3, and 4, however number of pages you have on the actual item to print. So again, I'm going to print and press next page, and it's going to do what it needs to do. All right, which is good, because if you don't want all of the paper, you can print what you need to print. So once it prints out this first free motion page, I am going to stop because I don't need all of it. All right, I'm going to demonstrate to you how you can use this to quilt your project. And you can use this on any project. You can actually save the paper, so that way you don't have to be printing all of the time. This is really, really great. So I'm going to tear it off like I did before. It's perforated, so it's nice and easy. There you go. No stress at all. So this is what we're going to use. So all we're going to do is use this for free motion. And I'm going to show you how you can do it so easily. So let's get started. Alright, so let me show you, if I were you and I wasn't confident about free motion quilting, what I will do. Now, because the paper comes up so beautiful, large, alright, you will make your quilting preparation as normal, but I'm just demonstrating to you how it can actually work. All right, so you will make your quilting piece together, and before you do anything, once you have your project piece, what you need to do is take your paper, put it underneath, and I'm using a white so you can actually see it, and all you need to do is trace it. So blooming easy. Right, now here is a kicker. I am going to use my heat erasable pen. So if you make a mistake while you're tracing, all you need to do is just get on the iron, isn't it? Put a hot iron on the spot you've made a mistake, and then all you need to do is continue. So all I'm going to do is just use my pen, and I'm going to trace it. So easy. And when all you need to do now is to go on your machine and simply quilt, and all you need to do is follow the lines. That's all I am doing here, is following the lines. Look at that, so easy. I'm going to do all of this, and it doesn't take any time at all. Now you're killing two birds with one stone here, because why I'm using a heat erasable pen is because once you've quilted on this, you can then take your hot iron and just simply press it down, and Bob's your uncle. You're done. All right, I think the ink has run out on that one. Let me use a different color. Is this another red? Why is it that when you're trying to demonstrate, you would get the same color? So there you go. Finish all of that. Back where I started. And what you can do, I'm going to move it so you can see it. What you can do, can you see that? How easy that is? You don't even have to buy the template. It's free. All you're buying really is your printer, because it's going to save you so much money. All right? All you need to do now is to move it along all over your quilt top, and just continue, because remember, this is meandering lines, so it doesn't really matter where you start or stop. Okay, if you want to connect the dot where you stopped on the printer, you can. So again, all you need to do is to just trace it over. And the template that I'm giving you has, and the template's free, by the way. All right, all you need to do is to download it on your phone, as I've demonstrated, and look how quickly I'm doing that. What this does is take away the fear of making a mistake on your quilt because you've traced it over. And look at that, so easy. You've got your free motion there already. You just need to follow the lines when you're quilting. And I think the template has 3 or 4 patterns that you can actually use. Once you've traced it, as I said, just get an iron, go over it. Done. So easy. All right, guys, so I hope this really helps. Let's thank Moonbin for this fantastic printer. Follow the link in the description box down below to get all of the offer for this. You can choose your colors. I have the white. It's strong, it's sturdy, it sits on the table nice and flat, and the great thing is it doesn't take up a lot of room. As quilters, we already have so many stuff on our table, but this doesn't take up a lot of space at all. All right, guys, so let's get started with the project, and I'm going to show you how to use the project to make the beautiful fall Halloween table runner. Let's get started. Alright, so I have a variety of fat quarters here in terms of the orange variation I'd like to use, and I have this particular brown here stars I'm going to use for my stumps of the pumpkin. Okay, so I have different variations of orange. I am going to use all 4 of these fabrics, but you can choose whatever you would like to make your pumpkin. Obviously it's a Halloween theme, and then you can choose as such, or you can just make it quite ordinary. It doesn't really matter. It's also a fall table runner, so it doesn't have to be in the Halloween theme. You can use whatever makes you happy, guys. Always remember that. All right, so we will start preparing these in a minute, but I wanted to share with you what the fabrics look like beforehand. You need to do some preparation with your paper first, okay? And I'm going to demonstrate more or less the big one, and then you can move on to doing the small template for yourself. So that's what they look like. We just printed these. All right, so let's move on to the next stages. So I have just separated my templates here from medium to large. So this is a small one, and I have the large one. So using your heat and bond, okay, or whatever adhesive that you use, iron-on adhesive, it's entirely down to you. I'm just telling you what I'm using, okay? And all I'm going to do now is put this underneath so I can see it and trace. So I've done the larger one here, and I've traced it out, all right? Now, on the actual template, there are some little dots there, and that is to indicate that that is the top, all right? So I have actually transferred that onto my paper here. So now that I've already done the tracing, I don't necessarily need this anymore, okay? So you just need that template in order to get the right size. Now, what I'm going to do now is to cut these off individually and then stick them on, place them onto the fabric. I'm not going to stick anything. I'm going to place them onto the fabric, and I'm going to show you how to do that, and then we're going to move on to the layout. This is the top here as well, so make sure you do everything all in one. You can actually do 2 at a time, so I'm going to do the top one there. So once I am doing the applique onto, or the heat onto the fabric, I'll do all of them in one go. I hope that makes sense to you guys. All right, so both are now traced. Now, what I wanted to say is that when you trace them out and you're going to cut it individually, I would say do not cut it on the line, okay? Do not cut the heat and bond on the line. Give it about a 1/4 inch away from that drawn line, okay? So in that instance, you will then have sort of a wider shape to the pumpkin, and I'll tell you why that's important. Okay, I mean, in all honesty, you can cut it on the line. To me, I just think it gives it a thinner appearance. I think if you have more leverage to the fabric rather than just a thin layer, because if you cut it this small, this is what your strip is going to be like. So I think the best thing is to cut it about a 1/4 inch away, because remember, this is just a trace, okay? So when you're cutting the paper out, cut it a 1/4 inch away, so that way it's fatter. All right, I hope that makes sense. And then once you actually trim onto the fabric, then you can make an informed decision as to how thick or thin you want your shape of your pumpkin to be. So as an example, this is what I'm referring to. So give yourself a little bit of a leeway. Don't just cut it right on the marked line.
up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Oh, well, I don't wanna jinx it, baby, and twist myself at the spine. Don't wanna overthink it, baby.
Next stage is, once you have cut out all of your strips, you can use any pieces of fabric in order to complete the project. So here I am using a small piece of orange fabric here. And all you need to do is put it on the wrong side, okay? So again, you put in the sticky eyed area on the back here on the wrong side of the fabric. The same as I've done here. Again, I'm using my fan quarter as I indicated earlier. So what I've done is decided I want the middle piece to be of this fabric, so I've done both of them there, fit them on. Just going to bring the iron over and put it on there for a couple of seconds until it's stuck on. Once I've done that, I'm going to cut the size of my squares and I'm going to lay them out like so. Alright, so as you can see, it is wider initially than the thinner strips initially for the markings. Okay, so that's what I wanted to point out to you. So it's not stuck on there. What I've done is just iron a crisscross on the fabric and laid center here. All right, and then what I'm going to do now is just take this over to the iron and press it down, and that's it. It will be adhered to my square now. All right guys, so that's it basically. Alright, so I'm going to continue. As you can see, I've done the top there of this brownish color star, which I think looks really cute. And I've used different colors or different variations of orange for my pumpkin. Alright, you can do whatever makes you happy. It's a beautiful, fun project. And have some fun with it. Don't be so stressed. You know, everything doesn't have to be precise and, you know. So what I would say is, you know, just equate your measurements in between here, because once that's down, you can't get it up. Okay, so make sure you're happy with your placement. If you want, you can probably put a dot of pen there so that you know where it goes. But I think ideally, it should be fine. All right, so I'm going to go iron this on now. Okay, so I'm going to iron this now, and just as I wanted to point out, remember, it's the wrong side of the fabric facing up at you, and the glue side is on the wrong side. So you place it down. You're using a hot iron. My iron's on red, and the importance here is no steam. And you're just going to hold it over it for a couple of minutes. I'm just using the tip because it's a small area. Okay, and that is it basically. So once that's done, what you're going to do is go back to your paper scissors, and you are simply, so easy and quick that was, you're simply just now going to cut around. Now at this stage you can decide, do I want to trim it down a little bit more? Do I want to go back to that original size that the template gave me? Is up to you. Remember, the template is just a guide. You can create it wider, thinner, as much as you're happy with. So make adjustments as you go to make sure your project is beautiful and what you're happy with. That's the most important thing. You don't have to do what I have done. Okay, so I've cut it all out now. Okay, so next I'm going to do is just repeat the process for all of them. So these are the bigger ones now. I'm just going to put it, just to minimize the waste of the fabric, I'm just going to put them as close as possible to the end, because at the end of the day I am going to trim this, any excess off. So just try not to waste your fabric so you have more for another project. And again, just hold it down, remember, on the wrong side. Don't get confused and put it on the right side, because you want to adhere the glue to the wrong side of the fabric. And just hold it down here, and it really doesn't take long at all. It's literally seconds. Done. And all I'm going to do is go back to my fabric and cut it out. And all I need to do now is just finish what I started. So cut this in half, and again decide if you want to keep that original size that you had or use the size with the paper. So I am literally cutting to the edge of the paper, and I'm just going to tidy it up, shape it up the way I want. I'm going to lay out as I showed you, just to make sure I'm happy with what the sizes looks like. Anything I'm displeased with, I would just simply make the adjustments and cut away. All right, so just as a precaution, that's what I would advise you to do. So you can see mine's there. It still has the line around it. I haven't trimmed the line away. All right, so I want to lay it out first, and then if I am happy with the spacing, then I could adjust it. So that is it, guys. So I'm going to continue with this, with all of them, and then the next you're going to see is me most likely, I'll show you the whole layout, and then the quilting and the completion of the project. So I'm using my 1/4 inch feet to stitch on the edges of the fabric, but I'm only using a straight stitch, and I'm using orange thread. Okay, so straight stitches there as usual, and I'm just going all the way around, taking my time with small increments of sewing. Alright, so this is now completed, guys. This beautiful fall pumpkin table runner measures 15 by 43. Absolutely gorgeous. It looks so beautiful. I love the color combinations. As you know, I decided on using 3 of the background colors. In order to make this bigger, all you really need to do is add more than enough background squares as you desire in order to make it a full length table runner. Obviously my tutorials are just demonstrations to give you the idea of how you would like to build your quilts or runners or toppers, etc. Okay, so beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. In the middle here I left a spot so I can simply just add a vase there rather than putting it right in the center. You know, again, giving you some ideas, you know, for your fall decor, and I just love it. I love the idea of the 2 small pumpkins. I did use a satin stitch to show sort of the example like that, but I did it in black, and as you can see I used that brown star that I've used here for the top of the pumpkin stem. But overall it looks beautiful. Let's go in closer and have a look at it in more detail. So I use a zigzag stitch, and I did a curve of the zigzag stitch for the quilting around, following the shape of the pumpkin. All right, I also went in between, but I did not go on top of the strips here. I left it because I wanted it to sort of stand out and pop up. And when I say pop up, what I mean, because I've quilted along here, what happens is that it just puffs up, isn't it? So you can see that unquilted area, and hence the reason for the applique. Okay, no point in doing the applique if you're not going to let it stand out, but it looks really gorgeous. You can see the following of the zigzag, and a lot of them are crossed over, which I intentionally did that because I wanted that sort of wood effect for the quilting. Looks absolutely gorgeous. Be mindful that you don't have to use the white background. You can use a nice brown color again to represent, you know, sort of an earthy tones. But it looks absolutely gorgeous. In the middle here for the strip, and I just used 2 strips here again to separate it. Looks gorgeous. And I did I did some serpentine lines sort of in a leaf shape all the way to the top. On the small border here, I did this particular quilting. I'm not sure if you can see that ribbon effect of the quilting. And again, for the binding, I went back into this particular fabric, which I love. It's so beautiful on the edges there. Just brings the whole thing together. As you know, for the center block here, I did the smaller pumpkin. Absolutely gorgeous. And I did some small pumpkins as I stipulated earlier, but using the lines, the satin stitch, in order to highlight those curves again. Again, I did the zigzag stitch. I did them really close together so you can see sort of that wood effect, and hence the reason why I said if you use a brownish color, it would look very more fall, more earthy tones, because you will see those wood effects sort of coming through. Same technique on this particular one here. Yet again, looks really gorgeous. Ideally, I was considering, I'm doing 3, so cutting this in 2 and then adding a different color, but I thought the dominant color there was fine with the black spots or the polka dots. It looks really gorgeous. Again, tying the whole table runner together. But overall, a very beautiful, simplistic project that can add some variety to your fall decor or even Halloween. Just absolutely gorgeous. Really, really beautiful, guys. What do you think about it? On the back, I just did some floral tones, and again, if you were to buy something like this off of me, you can use it at any time of the year. You don't necessarily have to use it at, fall. So it looks really gorgeous. Just a beautiful floral. Again, using the vase on the middle. And I like to give the idea, that's why I always try and present it so that you can see how it will actually work for you. But it looks really gorgeous. Let's turn it back over on the other side. Just fantastic, isn't it? Such a beautiful project that anyone can make. And again, what I wanted to point out, after I stitched it on as I demonstrated to you when I was quilting, I went back and did that zigzag, wavy line right on the edges of each of the applique, so that it just highlighted. And in all honesty, I was quilting and I made a mistake on one of them, and I was like, oh well, I guess it's going to be a design choice. So, and I did it throughout all of them. And again, this is why I talk about sometimes a mistake can be a design choice. So don't get upset with yourself to, feel like you have to unpick. But beautiful, beautiful, lovely project. Good size. It sits right in the middle of the table. My table extends, but usually we don't have it extend. There's only 2 of us here. But if we were to be using it as an extended table, I will definitely make a bigger one. But I think, this is absolutely gorgeous. And it's this size that if you wanted to add more decor to your table, you can, because then it just looks absolutely awesome. And again, as I said, I left that spot there because I did the pumpkins high and low, and I'm referring to the smaller ones, so that the vase can sit just to the left or the right of the table runner. But overall, a very beautiful project. Again, using colors that, works well with the season, but really beautiful, guys. Really, really beautiful. So if you enjoyed this tutorial, don't forget to like and subscribe, hit that notification bell. Let's give Moonbin a big shout out and thank you for sponsoring today's video. As you know, guys, without the simplicity of printing the template, we were able to do this. All right, just makes life so much more easier when you use the Moonbin printers. So bye for now, happy quilting, and I'll definitely see you in the next one. Leave your feedback down below. Let me know when you've bought your Moonbin printer, and let me know Once you've made your table runner, send me a picture. Let's collate them all together and I'll show a special video or put it on the community page and let everybody else see your work. Bye for now. Once again, happy quilting. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.